Daily Bible Reading, Acts chapter 19, verses 21 through 41. Some time later, Shaul decided by the Spirit to pass through Macedonia and Achaia and then go to Jerusalem. After I have been there, he said, I must visit Rome. So he dispatched two of his helpers, Timothy and Erastus, to Macedonia, but he himself remained in the province of Asia for a while. It was at this time that a major furor arose concerning the way. There was a silversmith named Demetrius, who manufactured from silver objects connected with the worship of the goddess Artemis, and he provided no small amount of work for the craftsmen. He called a meeting of them and of those engaged in similar trades and said, Men, you understand that this line of business provides us our living, and you can see and hear for yourselves that not only here in Ephesus, but in practically the whole province of Asia, this Shaul has convinced and turned away a considerable crowd by saying that man-made gods aren't gods at all. Now the danger is not only that our reputation of our trade will suffer, but that the temple of the great goddess Artemis will come to be taken lightly. It could end up with the goddess herself, who is worshipped throughout the province of Asia, and indeed throughout the whole world, being ignominiously brought down from her divine majesty. Hearing this, they were filled with rage and began bellowing, Great is Artemis of the Ephesians. Soon the whole city was in an uproar. As one man, the mob rushed into the theater, dragging along Gaius and Aristarchus, Shaul's traveling companions from Macedonia. Shaul himself wanted to appear before the crowd, but the Talmudim wouldn't let him. Even some of the officials of the province, friends of his, sent a message begging him not to risk entering the theater. Meanwhile, some were shouting one thing, and others something else, because the assembly was in complete confusion, and the great majority didn't even know why they were there. Some of the crowd explained the situation to Alexander, whom the Jews had pushed to the front. So Alexander motioned for silence, hoping to make a defense speech for the people. But as soon as they recognized that he was a Jew, they began bellowing in unison, Great is Artemis of the Ephesians, and they kept it up for about 2 hours. At last the city clerk was able to quiet the crowd. Men of Ephesus, he said, is there anyone who doesn't know that the city of Ephesus is the guardian of the temple of the great Artemis, and of the sacred stone which fell from the sky? Since this is beyond dispute, you had better calm down and do not do anything rash. For you have brought these men here who have neither robbed the temple nor insulted your goddess. So if Demetrius and his fellow craftsmen have a complaint against anyone, the courts are open and the judges are there. Let them bring charges and counter-charges. But if there is something more you want, it will have to be settled in a lawful assembly. For we are in danger of being accused of rioting on account of what has happened today. There is no justification for it, and if we are asked, we will be unable to give any reasonable explanation for this disorderly gathering. And with these words he dismissed the assembly.